Hi guys! My name is Karyn Johnston and I'm an actress and commercial model from the UK, now based in the Philippines. I have been very fortunate enough to have booked quite a few acting and modelling jobs here, most recently playing the reoccurring role of Paula on GMA7's The Half Sisters. A lot of people have asked me for advice on how to audition, so I thought that I would make a short video giving you guys some unique, useful and insightful tips on how to audition better, so you won't make the same mistakes that I did. Audition tip number 1. My first tip is that it's okay to be new. In fact, it's quite an advantage, especially in commercials, because many commercials do prefer fresh faces. So you shouldn't lie about having done any previous commercial work if you haven't, because you could end up doing more harm than good. Just embrace being new because you're only new once. Tip number 2. Know the difference between open castings and closed castings. Open castings are the most simple. Even if you haven't got a manager, it's okay. Anybody's free to audition for these. Closed castings are more complicated, and you almost always have to have an agent to audition for these. Casters have business relationships with certain agents and agencies, and will only choose their actors and models from them. A lot of times I've tagged along with friends to castings, and when I got there, they would tell me that I wasn't eligible to audition for the casting because my agent wasn't invited. It just ends up being a waste of time and money. I could have spent that money on better things, like Starbucks or chips. Tip number 3. Be conscious of your nervous habits. Everybody has them. Some play with their hair, some fidget, and some people shuffle around. For me, it's I talk too fast. Like really fast. Like really fast. Like lightning. So be aware of your nervous habits. The more you are aware of them, the more you can stop them, and the more you will appear calm in front of the casters. Audition tip number 4. This tip is what to wear and what not to wear for auditions. When I was training in theatre, I was always told to wear black for auditions, but that's not the case for TV and commercial auditions. For example, if you're going for a teen role, it's best to wear pastel colours, like what I'm wearing now. And if you're going for an office kind of role, it's best to wear corporate attire. Just dress like your character. Don't wear too much jewellery or too many hair accessories, because this can be quite distracting. Unless your character specifically needs that, it's best not to wear it. Try to also avoid wearing black, white and green colours. This is because often at times you will audition in front of a green screen, a black or a white wall, and you want to pop out, not blend in. Audition tip number 5. My 5th tip is, as much as possible, try to avoid going first. It's hard to go first because you have no idea what to expect. If you wait a bit longer, you'll be able to see, talk about, or eavesdrop. So you'll find out what the people that went before you had to do for their audition. You'll get a better idea of what you have to do and will have more time to prepare. Sometimes you're in this line and casters will demonstrate some kind of routine with lines, cues and movement that you're going to have to learn and later perform. So if you're not first in line, you have more time to memorise it and prepare for it. And also learn from any feedback and directions given to the auditionees that went before you. You can learn from their mistakes and try and make your performance better. Tip number 6. It's really important that you learn to improvise well, because a lot of auditions are based on improv alone. So practice improvising at home with different characters and different scene scenarios, because the more practice you do, the better you're going to be when they put you on the spot. Tip number 7. Tip number 7 is that it is very useful to have a bunch of different monologues that you can perform anytime, anywhere. There was this one time that I was auditioning for a kids' TV show. It just so happened that that caster was also casting for a movie, and although the casting for that was being held at a different time, she thought that I would suit the role. So she asked me if I could perform anything that was very dramatic, to show my dramatic acting side. So it's very useful to know a bunch of different monologues in different genres, because you never know when you might need them. Tip number 8. Tip number 8 is to make sure that you get there early, and there are lots of reasons for this. Allow time for being late. Being late is very unprofessional, and if you're unprofessional, they won't want to work with you. It's also useful because at times, They will just give you the script when you arrive at the audition venue. Sometimes the scenes can be quite long, and it's good to have a lot of time to memorize and work on it. And also, there's lots of time for you to retouch your makeup, retouch your hair, and get into the zone. Tip number 10, be very prepared. Bring an umbrella, it could rain. The drenched look is not a good look on camera. An extra change of clothes, in case you spill something on it, or something happens to your clothes, or the casters want to see you in something different. Try and bring straighteners and curlers too, because you can be asked to change your hair. Also important that you know your height and your vital stats, your chest, your waist and your hips. The most important thing is to never give up and to never lose sight of your goal. Going to a lot of castings can get tough, and no matter how good you are in acting, there's always a lot of rejection. Even though you're really good, sometimes you're just not right for that specific part, and that's okay. Just learn from your experience and keep getting better and never lose hope. Keep trying and eventually you will get something. I mean, look at me. I'm short, I'm not the best looking girl, I'm in a foreign country, and I managed to get work. So if I can do it, you can definitely do it too. If ever you want to ask me any questions or want any advice, I'm happy to help. You can leave comments asking questions on my YouTube channel, or you can message me on my official Facebook fan page. I'll post the link down below in the description. I wish you guys all the best of luck for your future auditions. Break a leg!